Hey everybody, this is Lex Luger, the Total Package, and you are listening to Markin Out.
This is Markin Out. Pro Wrestling Talk by Pro Wrestling fans, we marking out, y'all. Follow on Twitter. Pro Wrestling Talk by Pro Wrestling fans, we marking out, y'all. Marking Out. Pro Wrestling Talk by Pro Wrestling fans, we marking out, y'all. Brennan likes fisting. Pro Wrestling Talk by Pro Wrestling fans, we marking out, y'all. We're marking out. Pro Wrestling Talk by Pro Wrestling fans.
Welcome to Markin Out, Pro Wrestling Talk by Pro Wrestling fans. This is episode 804. That's right, you can check us out over at markinout.com, on Spotify, and wherever else you're listening to podcasts. Make sure you give us a 5-star rating to go with that 5-star frog splash. Buy a t-shirt, prowrestlingtees.com/markinout. Go give us a like on Facebook. Give us a follow on TikTok at Markin Out, Instagram at MarkinOut11, and then go back over to Twitter at Markin Out. You can follow me, Dave the Rave, on all social media platforms at David PTDPT. Follow Chris at CMSweeney85 on Instagram and CMSweeney85 and Chris Sweendog on Twitter, and then Brandon at BTTG161. Brandon, how are you?
I am doing awesome as always. How about yourself?
True, it is hot. It is hot, hot, hot. I think they said it's going to be hitting pretty much 100 degrees outside, it feels like.
I won't know. I won't be going outside.
Yeah. With the way that the heat is, stay inside, avoid the heat. Avoid the heat, stay inside with air conditioning. That is for sure. What did you do? Well, it looks like Sunday through Wednesday of next week is all rain. So all of this is going to be cooled off very fast.
I'm going to need Friday to be
How was
perfect,
your week? What did you do?
I went to a sit-down Chinese restaurant on Friday. It was beautiful to not have SmackDown to watch. Unfortunately, that didn't happen this week. But SmackDown, thank God, is back to 2 hours. So, but I went with my dad, my brother, and his girlfriend. So that was nice.
Mm-hmm.
I almost don't want to say the name of the place. It was first of all, the Chinese food was good, and I literally haven't had Chinese food where we sit down and order like that in probably I want to say decades, like where we each order like it's not an all-you-can-eat place. It's like you just sit down and order a bunch of food and you eat it. I saw after eating there, I saw an influencer go, and their portion size was so much more than my portion size. My portion size, by the way, it was already big. It was already a good amount of food, but seeing that they got more food than me kind of pisses me off.
Did he bring it up to the waiter?
No, I just said after I went.
Well, that sucks.
So I don't know if they knew that person was an influencer and they maybe paid them to be there or what. I'm an influencer. I'm a social influencer. I'm going to start dropping that. Be like, brother, you better add some more grains of rice here for me.
I mean, you got to start recording you eat.
But the food was good.
You got to go into these restaurants.
I thought the food was
and
good.
Record yourself eating.
A friend of mine is like a snob of sorts when it comes to sesame chicken, and he said it was the absolute worst sesame chicken he's ever had. I thought the sesame chicken was good, so maybe it's changed in the years since he's been there. So
that's tough.
I enjoyed it, so.
Yeah, we got to get you to become a food influencer. Start recording yourself eating.
BTTG161 on Instagram, kind of.
I watch a bunch of them on Instagram.
I mean, I've gotten free food from because of my Instagram before, so technically,
you got to record yourself eating now.
Technically, I am an influencer, but.
I mean,
how about your...
You got to record yourself eating.
That's the last thing I want to see. I don't want to see anybody like me eating. And I certainly don't want to eat on camera.
That's what everybody wants to see.
Sure. That's why I made you eat on camera.
I followed the two accounts that stand out. One of them is like a taxi driver in New York City that goes around.
Yeah, I've seen that one.
Then
he goes to 5-star restaurants.
follow a few. Yeah, he does a lot of
Or
5-star
Michelin-star
restaurants, and a lot of like mom and pop stores too.
But how was your week?
It was good. Ended up going to a good old New Jersey over the weekend. Met up with a few friends in New Jersey. We went out bowling,
And you got sick.
and then got some Indian food, and I was exhausted.
yeah, because who goes to
that's
New
pretty much
Jersey
it.
for bowling?
People that want to hang out with people.
You go
and
to
not stay
They come to
inside.
Long Island for bowling.
Doesn't work that way, Brandon. When you want to hang out with
And
people,
then you go to
can
New
do-
Jersey and get sick. Bam roasted. No offense.
You can still go out. Okay,
I've
let's
retired
move
from
on.
bowling, but I used to.
Nice. Good. I'm happy to hear that.
I used to enjoy it, but it's hard on my hands these days, so I can't do it.
Yeah, I actually hit 100, over 100.
I
was
don't know
happy.
I don't know what the perfect score in bowling is.
I think it's a perfect score. I think it's at 300.
Oh yeah, right. I did know that. Bowl of perfect 300.
Yeah. Yeah. But we had
so
Night of
hitting over
Champions.
100 is not great.
Huh?
Hitting over 100 is not great.
I mean, it beats getting under 100.
I mean, yeah, definitely.
But let's move on to some Night of Champions. First match of the night, Obafemi picked up the victory over Jey Uso to become the king of the ring. Thank goodness.
Both of them were super over at this event, though. So
Yeah.
and I hate that
Big
people
time
hate
over.
Jey Uso. I truly do. But I'm glad Obafemi is now the king of the ring. I thought the back and forth that they did here was very good. I liked when Jey hit the Uso splash, and Oba literally kicks out at one with a choke to Jey Uso. And then later on, Jey hit another Uso splash, couldn't get the pin on Oba. Hits another one, and Obafemi kicks out. And then eventually Oba hits the fall from grace, gets the victory there. No interference from Brock Lesnar. We'll put a pin in that, though. But I'm thankful that Obafemi is the king of the ring. I think it's a great accolade.
I'm very
to
happy
have.
that he won that. I don't think that Jey would have been a good king of the ring over Obafemi.
I don't know. There are other stories they could have told with Jey Uso winning, but if Obafemi, like I said from the start, if Obafemi's in it, Obafemi has to win.
I agree with that. To be honest, there's no storyline featuring Jey Uso that I would be like, I have to tune in to see this now.
Well, after that,
If there is,
Danhausen
they haven't
came
done it
out,
yet.
and he was talking about getting the money that from Dominic and JD McDonough. Liv Morgan interrupted that to collect the money from him. She threatened him, and then she cursed him. She slapped the absolute hell out of him, though. Or he cursed her, I mean. That slap was I wasn't expecting a slap like that. But then everyone's
Yeah,
like,
but
well,
not a good,
that's the end of the match. We don't even need to watch this
not
match.
a good move.
And I feel like that's a disservice to like, yes, Danhausen's been cursing and it's been working as of late. Should they have done that? Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, it goes in with everything with Judgment Day and Danhausen, though.
100%. It ties in with everything.
Yeah.
But then people went into this match like knowing Io Sky was winning. I thought from the start I was picking Io Sky.
Yeah.
And it was very interesting in this match, despite being cursed, Liv Morgan controlled most of this match. And I liked everything that they did in this. I liked Liv catching Io's dropkick and then locking in that Boston Crab. Io gets out of that right away. She eventually did hit the dropkick. She did hit the bullet train attack. But she didn't go for the over the moonsault there. And I've noticed that like one or two other times that she doesn't follow through with that. But when she did go for the over the moonsault, Liv Morgan pushed her off. She hurts her knee on the steps. And I thought that was an interesting aspect to take on in that match because Liv was able to work on Io's knee after that. And she had
that was a
that
good
great,
spot.
that half crab lion tamer from Liv Morgan I thought was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
That Spanish fly as a reversal that Io hit, great. and she won the match with the over the moonsault, and she chose Liv Morgan to face at SummerSlam.
Yeah, and I like that we were able to find out who she's going to challenge right away.
Yeah.
And I also like that they did the King of the Ring and Queen of the Ring back-to-back.
On free TV. Well, not
Yeah,
free
I was
TV,
happy that they did that.
I think you have to pay for ESPN, but...
Yeah, but still. Next up, you had a steel cage match. Seth Rollins picked up the victory over Braun Breaker. We got a busted open Braun in this one.
Did you see what Netflix did? As per WWE's
Yeah, they
request,
blurred out
apparently?
his face.
Yeah. That was goofy. But I think
I don't
they
understand
said-
why, because there's like movies that have
No, but they
graphic
said
stuff
that it was
happening that's on
WWE's
Netflix.
doing. Which is
That
weird
doesn't
because
even
I
make
don't
sense.
think it's blurred on ESPN.
But that doesn't even make sense to me either.
Yeah,
With
I don't-
WWE, why blur it out?
I mean, in modern wrestling, when we see blood, they turn the screen black and white, so they could have also done that, which would have been awful, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't get the reasoning behind blurring the face. I think that looks stupid. But there were a bunch of weapons that Seth Rollins got involved here, and this match opened with them both sitting in chairs to start. And it started, to me, it started very slow, to where I was bored. I was like completely checked out of this match. And then it really picked up. I liked the Breakensteiner onto the pile of chairs. I liked the flying clothesline from the top rope when Seth Rollins was sat on the chair. Seth superplexed Braun Breaker off the cage through a table. And then that's when, somewhere in between that spot, I think, that's where Breaker got busted open. And he speared Seth. Seth kicked out. Seth dodged another spear, which sent Braun Breaker through a table. Seth hit a pedigree, hit the stomp, and Breaker kicked out. And that's when I'm like, this is a very entertaining match with a very, very boring beginning. And
I agree with you. I thought that it was a very entertaining steel cage match. I'm glad that they had the steel cage match and everything. I think that it's fitting for their storyline.
The ending was I didn't. Seth went for another stomp and Braun Breaker like waved it off. Kind of like, in my mind then, it was like a mercy, like, please stop. Which Seth did, and then went to the was it the middle rope? And hit a stomp off the middle rope, and I feel like Braun Breaker could have easily moved from that. So I didn't really like the ending there, but...
I do need Braun Breaker to do something big now.
Yeah.
Like, he has to have a big matchup now. You know? But next up, you had, talking about big matches, Trick Williams picked up the victory over Ricky Saints to retain his championship. I thought the position of this match was pretty good to have right after the steel cage match. Fans love Trick Williams.
Yeah. And Ricky Saints attacked Trick Williams before the match. He also, during the match, grabbed Lil Yachty's kendo stick and hit it, fell to the ground like Eddie Guerrero would have done. So the referee kicked Lil Yachty from ringside. The referee didn't see any sort of shenanigans there. This match was also kind of slow, but I was not expecting the ending of this to be that ending. I think Ricky was going for a spear. Trick ducked it, hit the trick shot, and got the victory there. And then Ricky Saints attacked Trick Williams after the match. And Lil Yachty showed back up. Trick hit a trick slap. I really like that move in his moveset. And Lil Yachty...
I feel like it's important to have that in there.
And Lil Yachty hit him with the kendo stick, hit the... completely forget what commentary called it. He hit the people's elbow. Was it the people's elbow or something? I don't remember. So
I don't know.
I've very much so been enjoying Lil Yachty on WWE television.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I didn't think I was going to really enjoy him as much on WWE television because I don't know him.
Yeah.
But he's been doing the job very well as a manager.
I mean, it's crazy that he's literally there every single week.
Yeah.
The one
for
annoying thing was I saw an interview with him, and he was talking about being a musician, did not mention traveling literally every single week with the WWE. At what point do you become at what point do you become a WWE superstar?
True. I mean, what do you consider a WWE superstar?
I mean, would you consider a manager to be a superstar? I would say probably it's in that realm.
I feel like that's the big question. I kind of feel like I don't know. I'm torn on that. But next up, you had Tiffany Stratton pick up the victory over Jade Cargill to retain her championship.
This was apparently the first time the U.S. Championship was defended on a pay-per-view, a PLE.
Wow.
Is that trash or what?
I don't get that.
That was weird to me. If that's true, I assume it would be, but
yeah, gotta defend these championships more often.
But I
think
like
the
this.
problem is that they don't have it. They have too many championships.
I don't think so. I think they don't utilize them properly.
I think that they're limited in what they can do and how they can utilize.
I don't.
Them, though,
they get rid of half of a division, and then there goes the tag team titles. Like you need to utilize the people you have, and then push the divisions.
I don't know. I would be. Unfortunately, it's either release the wrestlers or find something to do because I feel like it's oversaturated. I think that there's too many championships.
I disagree. I think you need these divisions. Because otherwise it's just them doing nothing. And, I mean, ultimately right now it's sometimes them doing nothing as well.
Yeah.
But I like that rebound knee that Jade hit on Tiffany Stratton outside the ring. I thought the black hole slam from Jade was really well done. Apparently that, I don't know what's real or what's not, but that there was an exchange between Jade and Piper Niven where Piper told Jade that it was completely done maybe unsafely. But I don't know. I thought it looked good.
That's probably just
I have
talking.
no idea what that is. I didn't see any news site confirming oh, this is a work or anything or what.
Yeah, and I think it was just people talking.
But Jade Cargill got her knees up for the prettiest moonsault ever. She hit Sandstorm, but Tiffany Stratton kicked out of that, and then B-Fab and Mia Yim got involved. And Mia Yim pushed Tiffany Stratton off the top rope, and then Chelsea Green showed up and took them out, but Jade tried to take Chelsea Green out. Charlotte showed up to stop Jade from using the championship, and Charlotte ends up clocking Jade Cargill with that title. And then Tiffany was able to hit the PME after that and get the victory.
Yeah. I thought it was a solid ending. And then, like you mentioned with the Niven, she put out a tweet with Jade Cargill saying, "No one warms my heart. After all we've been through, Jade, paying homage to me and keeping my moves alive in the ring. You're a real one, sis. Once I relearn how to use my right arm again, I will show you how to transfer their weight so you get the pin next time." So people maybe just taking that and just...
Maybe she was just saying, you would have won had you done this, maybe? I don't know. I have no idea.
I think it's just people spinning it. All she said was you could transfer your weight onto them to get the pin.
No, didn't she say, the reason why her head bounced off the mat? There might be a deleted tweet there.
Not in her tweet? That was exactly her tweet that I read.
There might be a deleted tweet there, then.
I mean... Yeah, I wouldn't put so much thought into that one. But next up, you had Sami Zayn pick up the victory over Gunther and Cody Rhodes to become your WWE champion.
They packed a lot in this match.
Very over.
Yeah, big time. How could he not be?
Very over.
That sunset flip powerbomb from Sami to Gunther was maybe one of the best sunset flip powerbombs that I've ever seen. I thought that was really, really well done. Earlier in the match, Sami Zayn pulled the referee out to break up Cody's count. And then we saw Sami hit Gunther with a haluva kick. Goes for the pin. Cody does the same thing to him to break up that pin. And I thought that was a well done, like, traded off spot there. I liked Sami Zayn teasing the package pile driver on the table. But Cody ends up reversing that, sending Sami through the other table. And then Gunther put Cody through the table. And he had to do it twice. The first time it didn't break. So there was like call and response sort of moments and spots in this match that I thought were really well done. He got Cody back into the ring, locked him in the sleeper. Cody got out of it, and then he locked it back on. Right before the referee could drop Cody's arm, Sami stops that. And he hits the exploder, he hits the haluva. Gunther kicks out, clotheslines Sami Zayn, and he goes for a powerbomb, but he eats a Cody cutter. And then Cody went for Crossroads. Sami ends up turning around and hitting Crossroads. And then there was a double Crossroads spot that happened with Gunther and Sami. And Cody went for another Crossroads on Sami Zayn. Sami rolled through and I mean, I literally gasped when that happened. And Sami Zayn became the WWE champion. Not only that, he became a Triple Crown champion and a Grand Slam champion.
Yeah. I gotta say, I don't know how I felt originally, but seeing his reaction, okay, let him cook. Let's see.
But now they say don't expect Sami to hold it much longer, and I mean,
that's what I saw too. But
I'll talk about that later. But I saw
that one too.
We saw Gunther on the post show yell at Nick Aldis, called him a failed wrestler who's jealous of him. And it got into a shoving match between the two of them to where Nick Aldis was placed on leave. And now it seems like a SummerSlam match could be likely for those two. I'm not opposed to it.
That would be interesting.
Yeah, and Adam Pearce right now is in charge of Raw and SmackDown because of that.
Yeah. So we'll see how that plays out.
Moving over to Monday Night Raw, it opened with the King of the Ring, Obafemi, to a great reception. And he mentioned his choice for SummerSlam. Obviously, he had the choice between Roman Reigns and Sami Zayn. But Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman showed up. And Brock congratulated him on winning the King of the Ring. Mentioned himself also being a former King of the Ring. He mentioned Paul Heyman telling him all the names that Obafemi's been calling him. He's like, I don't watch the product, but I heard you've been calling me a bunch of these names. And then he attacked Obafemi. And Brock and Paul Heyman left. Obafemi got back up and said, this is what Brock always does. He attacks, he leaves, and he issued a challenge for SummerSlam, to which Brock Lesnar accepted and upped the stakes and said Hell in a Cell.
I'm intrigued.
I didn't see that at all. You had Austin Theory backstage, asked Paul Heyman what he's doing there. Had no clue that he was supposed to be there. Asked him to come out with him for his match. Paul walked off. And then you had Adam Pearce just make sure with Obafemi that that's what he wants with the match with SummerSlam. Obafemi said the title's always going to be there. He needs to end this with Brock Lesnar. And then the IWC and everyone, this is stupid. They false advertisement. They advertise King of the Ring winner, blah, blah, blah. It's pro wrestling.
So that's the thing I kind of don't like.
It's a TV show.
I don't like that he's giving up a title shot to
No.
Lesnar.
He's not giving up a title shot. He's going to be using that title shot. He's just not using it at SummerSlam like we originally thought.
So they can use it at any time? It doesn't have to be SummerSlam?
It was, you win the King of the Ring, you get a title shot at SummerSlam, but Adam Pearce, obviously there's a certain situation that happened where he got his ass kicked. And he challenged Brock Lesnar. So it's one of those things, one of those general manager discretions.
Then they have to put it on TV. They have to say that if he's not using it at SummerSlam, that he's going to be able to cash in at some other point.
He said, I'm going to use this. The championship will always be there for me.
Which means
everything that Obafemi said covers. But everything that Obafemi said covers this exact reason why people shouldn't be outraged. And people are like, how effing dare they? They suck. They're the worst.
I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me.
Watch the TV show. Literally, watch the TV show and find out. Yeah. Everything makes sense.
I don't know.
And then later on, we had a Joe Hendry concert where he brought the Street Profits out. They thanked the fans. They thanked Seth Rollins and Joe as well. And then Austin Theory interrupted and said there's a rematch for the titles next week.
Yeah.
And then
Joe
we
Hendry
go
pretty
into
much doing the Hanukkah song.
What?
It was pretty much the Hanukkah song.
No.
With Adam Sandler. Listen back to it.
What?
Same melody.
I don't think so.
You'll listen back to it. It's the same melody. But, yeah, Street Profits were out there. And there's a rematch that's going to be taking place.
But we go into the next match with Joe Hendry picking up the victory over Austin Theory. I thought it was a decent match with Joe Hendry using the side effect instead of the normal sort of chokeslam finisher that he was been using. But I thought it was an obvious outcome there.
Yeah, just kind of a filler. Pretty much a filler match.
I don't expect the Street Profits to
Rey
lose the titles next week, though.
Yeah, but who would... Austin, we don't know Theory's tag team partner, do we?
It's, Braun Breaker, presumably.
Yeah.
I don't know if
next
he's
up, yeah,
injured or what, but...
Yeah, we don't know. Rey Mysterio picked up the victory over Ethan Page.
Also,
so
Seth Rollins is said to be done with Braun Breaker, so we know that's not necessarily true, maybe?
Mm-hmm.
Or we assume that it's not true. Well, I mean, we'll have to see, but hopefully he's done. But yeah, I thought this was a good match for Ethan Page, working Rey Mysterio in that manner. The big boot that stopped the 619 I thought was nice. Rey Mysterio did eventually hit the 619. He hit the frog splash, got the victory. Simple match there. After that,
yeah, nothing too crazy.
Io Sky came out. Liv Morgan interrupted. She blamed Danhausen for her loss. And she said that she's going to beat Io Sky at SummerSlam, retain the championship. And then the Judgment Day showed up, and Io at first took them out. But Liv got in the ring. Io, she blocked the Oblivion too. But she went for the over the moonsault. Raquel and Roxanne came back, and they all beat Io Sky down. And everyone was sitting there waiting for Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley, nobody showed up. That was unexpected to me.
Yeah.
So, after
Definitely.
that,
next up, Jimmy Uso picked up the victory over L.A. Knight. Yeah.
Jay was on commentary for this.
Yeah, we had some interference in this one.
And that's the thing. Like, I thought the match was solid, but did I need a rematch of this? What was interesting,
Not really.
During the match, I just kept waiting for Solo Sikoa to show up. That didn't happen during the match. And I did like the spot when they were outside the ring when LA Knight teased throwing Jimmy into Jay, and then Jay got scared. And then he eventually did attack Jay. But that's what led to the finish where Jay got pissed off. And he ends up getting up on the apron. LA Knight knocks him off, but Jimmy rolled him up. And then Jay, still being pissed off from what had happened, he starts to attack LA Knight. And then from behind, Solo Sikoa showed up, hit the spike on Jimmy. Again. And Jay questioned later on where Jacob Fatu was, and Jacob Fatu was like, I only take orders from Roman. really solidifying that relationship there, where it's like, I'm not your OTC, or I'm not your like person to back you up here.
Yeah, he's not taking orders from him.
I'm here for Roman.
Yeah. Next up, you had Raquel Rodriguez pick up the victory over Maxine.
She did speak to Chad Gable beforehand, but there wasn't
True.
an apology acceptance yet. The match wasn't one-sided, but this was another, I think, obvious outcome here. I think you had to know Raquel was going to beat Maxine. And then Austin Theory spoke to Maxine later about what she said to Chad Gable. He's like, maybe this isn't working out. And he left her. So all that, like, the weeks of build to nothing is weird.
Yeah, just to that. Unless there's a swerve factor to it where she helps him win the championship next week.
Yeah, it's a possibility, but I
mean, it would be a heel thing to do.
Yeah, 100%. And what I originally thought was that we would see Maxine help the Vision, I guess at that time would have been retain the titles, but I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Earlier in the night, we had Danhausen, and the Judgment Day went looking for him, and then Dominic Mysterio stole something from the Knicks to make Danhausen come to them, and then later on, his lab was trashed, and Liv Morgan told Danhausen to make it right or else. I didn't understand where they were like, oh, we're going to make him come to us, but then we didn't see them trash the laboratory or whatever. But then we fast forward.
Showed it off.
Yeah, and then we fast forward to the match. We see Chad Gable pick up the victory over JD McDonough. Dominic got involved to save JD and distract Chad Gable. Which, again, like that, I'm very we've seen, I guess did he get shocked? Yeah, he got shocked. So I don't understand how the effect didn't last.
JD got shocked, yeah.
It didn't last. Like, Miz and Kit Wilson are still screwed.
I mean, Zack Ryder, Matt Cardona, same thing. I mean, it hasn't lasted.
That's true. But he's a face, so.
True.
Maybe it's JD's head size that, like, the reasoning behind that. I don't know. But the ankle lock from the moonsault I thought was really nice. Danhausen finally showed up and goaded Dom into chasing him. We found out that the item stolen was the Danhausen Knicks jersey. So Dom chased him, and with that, Chad Gable went for Chaos Theory. JD rolled through, and then Chad Gable's able to roll through that with the ankle lock and eventually tap him out. So I like that. And then Dom came back out, opened the briefcase that Danhausen had left there, and it blew up in their faces. It was the money, but there was an explosion that happened inside, and then Raquel attacked Danhausen. I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, got him right from behind on the ramp, and she got the jersey back.
Yes.
So I'm sure this is going to play a factor into Saturday night's main event.
But I don't.
As it would seem.
Yeah, I guess that's.
I mean, the rumor is McDonough versus Danhausen.
Well, that's not I don't think that's a rumor. I think that is going to happen.
All right, so they'll probably have the jersey play a factor. Jersey on a pole match.
Maybe hanging from the rafters, and the winner gets that ladder match sort of situation. Probably not, but
have Brunson come out and help Danhausen win.
Yeah, I feel like Knicks have to be involved there. I was under the impression that it would be a tag team match where it would be like Cardona and Danhausen versus the Judgment Day, but it seems to be that singles match that'll be happening, and you have to have the Knicks involved. To close out Monday Night Raw, you had Roman Reigns come out Seth Rollins came out and spoke about Roman holding his title. And Roman said that Seth hasn't done anything to deserve a title shot. And Seth was like, brother, everything that you have done, you owe me. And I own you. And I thought that the timeline from Seth Rollins was really well done. Everything that Seth did in this segment was very, very well done. He put Roman over, and he said the one thing Roman hasn't been able to do is beat him. And then, like, kind of Roman Reigns, to me, kind of looks stupid there, because it's like, oh, fee, fi, fo, fum. Like, yeah, I have to beat you.
Mm-hmm.
I need to do that. So it's like he goaded him into the match, kind of. But I like that he was like, this might be one of your last chances to do so. With this new generation coming in, we're not getting younger. And Roman agreed, so we're going to see that match.
I do like this, but I feel like we have to, if they're going to culminate again, it really has to be maybe a finale between the two.
I mean,
I don't know how to have a matchup with them and have it not be a to be continued. I feel like they'll always to be continued.
If Dean Ambrose returns, it could be a to be continued, but I think as long as both of them are still active competitors, it's not going to be like it.
Mm-hmm.
So, but that's Monday Night Raw. Moving back in the week to Great American Bash, opening with Tony D'Angelo picking up the victory over Naraku to retain the championship. I was kind of expecting the opposite result there. But Tony came into this...
I was very surprised.
Tony came into this pretty hot. And he speared Naraku right through that platform outside. That was, to me, an unexpected spot. I hate that spot. But because of how unexpected it was, I'm fine with that. The referee at one point went to stop the match, and Tony D'Angelo was like, you're not doing that. And then, of course, they had commercial breaks. It was the first time on CW Network. I could have sworn it was supposed to be on ESPN Unlimited too, but they erased all that from WWE.com. And to me, the commercial break completely ruined this match. Because there wasn't much to it after that last commercial break, and Tony hit the spine buster, got the victory there.
Yeah, the commercial really takes you out of it, but next up, you had Zarya pick up the victory over Tatum Paxley to retain the championship. I thought that this was a great match, and I think that Tatum Paxley continues to improve week after week, and it's only a matter of time till she's a WWE Women's Champion.
Yeah, I think the commercial break, for me, only really affected that first match. I would have preferred for no commercial breaks whatsoever, but yeah, this was very entertaining. They did a very good job playing it up like Tatum could actually win this and regain the championship. But I'm glad Zarya's reign wasn't cut short. And we get to keep seeing it. At one point, Tatum Paxley went for that coast-to-coast. Zarya sat up. And it led to like a cool little fight on the apron. Tatum Paxley hit Cemetery Drive outside the ring. She hit it again inside the ring, and Zarya kicked out. I thought that was an exciting spot. And she went for another one. Zarya reversed it. She hit a spear. She hit the F5. Tatum Paxley kicked out. I thought that was very surprising. And then she ate a bunch of elbows and a stomp and another F5, and that's when Zarya got the victory there. And I thought overall this was a very well done match between the two of them.
I agree. I totally agree. Next up, you had Shyla Hill pick up the victory over Tristan Angels. You needed Shyla Hill to win.
They did something quite interesting here. Something that maybe we wouldn't have seen in any other era except for, I feel like, the COVID era. The lights went out during this, and they showed footage. Shiloh Hill went under the ring, and they showed footage from under the ring, and a phone is there. There's nobody under there. Angels went under there, and, well, we assume that Shiloh went under the ring. We didn't actually see him, I don't think, go under there, but a phone rang.
No, we didn't. Yeah, we didn't see him actually go under the ring. We just saw Angel's under the ring with, I guess, Hill coming up behind him with a cool mask.
Well, no, before that, though, there was a phone that rang, and he picked up, and it said the fog is coming. Is that from a movie, I assume, or what?
That I don't know.
So, that's when Shiloh showed up. He choked him. Angels got out from under the ring, and Shiloh Hill was again there to choke him. And I thought that was a very interesting spot.
Yeah. That I didn't know. I guess they pre-shot.
I mean, that was obviously, obviously that was a pre-taped segment under the ring.
I mean, I thought that was very.
I was entertained.
I thought that was a very smart. Yeah, very smart to do. I thought that was pretty cool.
I like the
how
spear.
did Shiloh Hill do that if it wasn't pre-taped?
Yeah, I mean, that was definitely.
Does he have magic powers?
Pre-taped, but the spear spot I thought was good. Hill eventually hit the Whisper of the Beast and got the victory. It was, again, very entertaining.
Next up, Sinclair picked up the victory over Ariana Grace to retain her championship. Good matchup.
Ariana Grace was very good here, and I'm happy that we got a match like this from her. A lot of people say that her knockouts reign was garbage. I don't think so, because it helped showcase her further.
Great for what it was.
What?
Yeah, it was great for what it was.
Yeah, and I think that it helped to showcase her more, like, because we don't really get to see Ariana Grace wrestle, so, and we got to see her on the mic more often in TNA as well, so I was happy with that. But Charlie Dempsey got involved. Ren Sinclair knocked him off the apron, and with about 15 seconds left, she tapped Ariana Grace out with the final wrench to retain that Speed Championship.
Yeah.
So.
Next up, you had Saquon Sugars pick up the victory over Dion Lennox.
I feel like this should have had more of a bad blood sort of match.
Okay, I can see what you're saying.
We got to see a lot more
sense.
of Sugars, more of what he can do. We saw Cutler and Griffin show up during this match. And I thought they were going to get involved. That didn't really come into play, but the belly to back on the top rope from Lennox I thought was dope. Overall, though, Sugars gets the victory, and then Dark State attacked him afterwards. So that's continuing.
Yeah. I thought it was good, though.
Yeah.
Next up, you had Miles Bourne pick up the victory over Tavion Heights to retain his championship. I feel like the trend is that you just got to... I mean, the past two PLEs, it was retaining championships until the main event, it seems. But Bourne picking up the victory.
Well, not technically. I mean, the King of the Ring was a new Queen of the Ring.
Well, I wouldn't include the King of the Ring because there's nobody to retain.
That's true, yeah. But I think they had good back and forth, and it really showed how well they know one another in the ring there. So I appreciated that. And honestly, I wasn't expecting this match to be as long as it was. Like, to me, this was a crazy long time for a match. But Miles reversed Heights and hit the Born Again at the end of the match and gets the victory there. It was a good retain for him.
Yeah. Main event of the evening, Kendall Gray picked up the victory over Lola Vice to become the new NXT champion. I'm happy that Kendall Gray is champion. I was also surprised. You know, Lola Vice has a lot going for her.
I mean, were you super surprised? Did we not both pick Kendall Gray to win?
I mean, not super surprised. Super.
I think the back and forth here was incredible. They both used their backgrounds, and I thought it melded so well together. Obviously, Lola Vice from MMA, Kendall Gray from amateur wrestling. So... yeah. I feel like those are sister sports already that it just worked incredibly well here. Kalani Jordan.
Yeah, I agree.
Kalani Jordan tried to interfere, but Ren Sinclair fought her to the back. I liked when Lola did that diving senton off the apron, and Kendall, she rolled through and turned it into an ankle lock. And then she hit Shades of Grey off the barricade. I thought that was great, and she locked in another ankle lock in the ring. Lola Vice reversed it with her own ankle lock. They went back and forth, trading the same moves. Lola Vice hit the back fist. Kendall rebounded off the ropes and hit her own back fist. I thought that was so good. And then Kendall eventually hits Shades of Grey and gets the victory.
Yeah, solid way to end the PLE, I think.
And then we fast forward to NXT where Kendall Gray went out by herself to celebrate. And she said that she was nervous out there talking because that's just not something she really does. And she said that she ran through the division when she was in Evolve. But whenever she got a shot at the NXT Championship, she dropped the ball. And she started questioning herself, and Sunday just proved that she belongs there. And she said that the division is going to find that they can't keep up with her. And then Ren Sinclair brought out a cake, and Kalani Jordan interrupted. She asked for a match, and then Tatum Paxley attacked her, and then the two of them ate cake, and there's the whole like NXT DIY Johnny Gargano Tommaso Ciampa thing that always has me worried in the back of my mind when like things take too long to end. Like I feel like have to sort of expect that, and I don't want to see that between the Ren QCC, so hopefully that doesn't happen anytime soon if it's a thing.
We'll find out.
I don't think we need that. I feel like they could both be champions and both be friends and besties.
True. But first match of the night, Vanity Project picked up the victory over Los Wagner Brothers to retain their championship. I thought that they did a good job.
Yeah, I thought it was cool to see Wagner and Galeno on NXT, and I thought this was a good match. But Jackson Drake got involved. The Vanity Project took advantage of that. And I think Micah even held the leg down. And people were like, how goddamn dare they have this AAA talent lose? No, nobody should be losing to the Vanity Project. Brother, they're champions. They had 4 people beat 2 people.
Yeah, that's the thing, too. They have the number game.
It's like part of me thought maybe we would see Omos show up because he's feuding with Galeno in AAA, but given what had happened earlier with Vikingo, which I'll talk about in a moment, I doubted that. But Birthright and OTM both tried to get tag team shots or title shots. Legacy also tried, and when he went in, Van Dukes wasn't even there. And they're like, where's your partner? And he's like, what? Where'd he go? Dark State also tried to get one. Romeo Moreno and Noam Dar tried, or I feel like it was Moreno who tried to get it on behalf of them. And Robert Stone made it a fatal 4-way. He didn't put Moreno and Dar in. He told them to go prove themselves, basically. So I don't know what that will lead to. But
we'll find out.
We go into that next match, which I'm so glad when they do stuff like this. Vanity Project's already out there.
Yeah, might as well go one into the other.
Yeah, and we see Jackson Drake pick up the victory over Mason Rook. I feel like, first of all, this match had no business being as good as it was. So kudos to them for that. But that sell from Drake on that corner chop I thought was really great. And then Rooks chopped him again, and I thought there was another great sell from Jackson Drake. The one thing that I didn't like here, that Booker T got a phone call from Cam Hendricks during the match. I didn't get it.
Yeah, that confused me.
It doesn't fit here. It made no, unless they do something next week where it does fit, but that really made no sense to me whatsoever.
Yeah.
But that
something else that doesn't make sense to me is Jim Cornette. Him bashing Mason Rook. And,
especially because Mason Rook is entertaining. They're all these entertaining.
And bashing him about his appearance.
Yeah, that's goofy. That I don't know why Jim would do that.
Like, Jim Cornette has to just... Him and Dave Meltzer have to just go away. forever. Like, leave pro
I
wrestling
think Jim
alone.
needs to get with the
Chill out
times
sometimes.
Sometimes.
I agree with
Meltzer,
you
on
on
the
there.
other
Sometimes
hand,
Jim
needs
Cornette.
to just go away.
Yeah, sometimes Cornette could be good, but there's some takes that Cornette has where it's just like you said, get with the times. What the hell? Are you,
Yeah, sometimes
what
he says
the hell are you
something and
tweeting?
it makes no sense.
Yeah,
Like it's literally pro wrestling.
yeah.
But
Don't get
the
it.
springboard moonsault double stomp from Jackson Drake I thought was nice. Lockwood distracted the referee. Rook took Vanity Project out. Oh, I was thinking of this match, by the way. I think she held on to the leg in this match, not the other match. But she was still involved in that other match, I believe. But then Mason Rook attacked the Vanity Project afterwards anyway, so he took them down.
Yeah, which I mean, I don't like Mason Rook losing, but once again, number gains, and he still came out on top at the end.
Yeah.
But next up, you had EK Prosper pick the victory over Keanu Carver.
This
I was surprised. I thought Carver was going to win.
This was supposed to be Vikingo defending the championship, and Carver attacked him beforehand. Apparently, he got injured earlier in the day. They were going over this match, and he got injured. So that's unfortunate. Hopefully, it's not an injury that keeps Vikingo out for a long time. I was looking forward to seeing that match. But Carver, I mean, he controlled the beginning of this. EK Prosper came back to he took him off his feet a few times. I feel like when Keanu Carver debuted, they made him out to be like that next Obafemi or Brock Lesnar. And then it changed with his matches. Like, his intensity comes and goes, but it's more like, I don't know who else to compare it to. It's like almost like an Incredible Hulk sort of thing, where like it's there and then not there.
Okay.
But Tank Ledger showed up and threw Keanu Carver through the LED board for what he did to him at Great American Bash. And he almost got counted out, but he got in the ring. He got rocked by a kick. He ate that moonsault, and I mean, it's in the long run here, it's embarrassing, or short run maybe, it's embarrassing for Keanu Carver to lose to EK Prosper two weeks in a row, basically. So it should be interesting to see where they go next from that. I don't think it'll be a third win for EK Prosper anytime soon.
True. Next up, you had Jada Parker pick up the victory over Carmen Petrovic. It was a good match. I want to see more from Parker though now.
I don't know.
Like, main roster wise, I want to see
She controlled a lot more of this match, but Carmen Petrovic came back. I liked Jada using the Rings of Saturn in this match. Carmen got to the ropes. We saw Nikita Lyons and Natty attack Jada Parker. And Layla Diggs, she didn't listen to Natty there. So, you had the 2-on-1 attack outside the ring there. Layla Diggs didn't listen, and then Jada Parker was able to win off of that. Somehow. I assume Jada Parker will cost Natty her title match next week. Natty demanded a title shot, so she's going to be facing Kendall Gray.
Mm-hmm.
I assume that's where it leads to, and then I don't see it going to the underground. I don't.
True.
I mean, there's a possibility we could see I forget what they called it, not the Lion's Den, but the new version, the fight pit. Maybe we'll see that between Natty and Jada Parker. This was a match where I kind of understand people complaining that like Petrovic is in Los Perros del Mal and it didn't really translate here. Like last week they mentioned it this week, but like intensity wise, I feel like she shouldn't be losing.
True.
So we'll see what happens with that. After that, Tony D'Angelo came out. He spoke about how he had to sign a waiver at Great American Bash to even wrestle Naraku. And he questioned if he's willing to risk his health, and he said he was. And he said that he's done with Naraku, and he said nobody's willing to do what he's willing to do to take that title from him. Kendall Gray then came out for the main event. She fist bumped Tony D'Angelo. And then off camera, Naraku spits poison mist in Tony's eyes while one eye was covered and attacked Tony with a chair. So he's not done with Naraku. Takahashi didn't debut.
True, you were thinking that he was going to. Naraku has to win the next one.
Yeah.
Final match, Kalani Jordan picked up the victory over Tatum Paxley.
Kendall did commentary. She wasn't in the match. And,
yeah.
By the way, Callie Armstrong spoke to Robert Stone earlier in the night. He's like, I forget what exact phrasing he used, but it was like, step up. Prove yourself almost. She showed up and attacked Kendall right before a commercial break. Is that like one of the worst spots to probably put before a commercial break?
100%.
That was poorly done. But I think he might have said like make an impression or something. But this match I thought was really good. I liked when they kept rolling through pins, and then finally it led to Kalani being rolled out of the ring. But she worked Tatum's leg throughout the match. Some unique ways of working on the leg. In the end, though, she hit the one-of-a-kind moonsault, got the victory. I was expecting Tatum to win that match. So that was surprising. And then afterwards, Nikki Blackheart, no name in WWE yet on TV-wise, debuts and attacks Tatum Paxley. Almost maybe got hurt. Luckily, she didn't.
Yeah, that knee.
I feel like she was able to
very
save herself
lucky that
big
she
time
didn't.
there.
Yeah,
Back from
a part of me questioned whether or not she should have just put her down and changed it real fast, but yeah, I wonder the strain on that knee when she's doing a torture rack like that. Don't stomp so hard. I don't know. It kind of reminds me of Randy Orton punching the mat too hard and dislocating his shoulder, I think.
Something like that.
Right? Like, you can still go through the motions, but yeah, just take it easy. Hopefully after this strong showing of her that they do something big with her.
Yeah, and she came in, she went viral on the internet, so people know her. But we're going to need a lot there. We're gonna need something big for not Tatum Paxley, for Nikki Blackheart here.
I agree. I think that I could see her being kind of like a Jordan Grace aspect, but just because they both have that kind of bodybuilder physique. But I think that I want to see what's going to be different with her.
Yeah. And it's like you're showing up and attacking someone who doesn't even have a championship. So, but we've seen stuff like, we've seen debuts like
but
this
there has
in
to be
NXT
a reason
that
now.
were very similar already. So,
but now we have to get the reason why she's going after
exactly.
her.
Exactly.
And the torture rack is a great finisher for her.
Yeah. So that is NXT. Moving over to SmackDown. It opened up with Sami Zayn, and he spoke about the doubters and how he'll forever be known as a main event wrestler, a WrestleMania main eventer, a WWE champion, and no amount of booing will take that from him. Cody Rhodes came out, congratulated Sami, and Sami was like, be honest. Tell me why you're actually out here. And then Jey Uso showed up. He gave Sami a warning shot. And he said that he needs to bring the championship back to the family. And Sami's like, as far as I'm concerned, the title's still with the family. And he told them both to stay away from him. He's done with them. And then Adam Pearce came out acting general manager. and announced that Sami Zayn's going to defend the championship on Monday Night Raw, and made Cody versus Jey Uso for the main event. So I'll talk about that in a moment. I did pop, though, at that backstage segment where Sami Zayn was celebrating with Johnny Gargano and Candice LeRae. I thought Candice's face there the whole time was just so funny, but I like that segment. First match on SmackDown saw Jade and the Baddies pick up the victory over Charlotte, Chelsea Green, and Tiffany Stratton. I also like the segment that came before this, the dynamic between Charlexa, then Flair and Tiffany Stratton, and then everyone with Chelsea Green I thought was very good. I feel like I say this every single week, but I've been enjoying getting to see Mia Yim actually wrestle. Flair, I think, controlled a lot of this match, but the Baddies were able to take over for a bit. Jade ended up countering an Unpretty Her, where she went for an attempt of Jaded, and Chelsea rolled through, but when she rolled through, she had to deal with B-Fab on the apron. She knocked her off, and then Jade was able to hit the Jaded to get the victory there. After that, we saw Rey Fenix pick up the victory over Vikingo to retain the championship. Again, I think it's awesome that we get to see this title defended on SmackDown. And I think it's great to see Vikingo. This was taped Monday night, so that's why Vikingo wasn't injured. But this was just these matches have been awesome to watch. That Poison Rana spot I thought was great. In the end, though, Vikingo missed the springboard 450. Rey Fenix was able to hit the Mexican Muscle Buster after that and get the victory. We saw Julia backstage interviewed, and she basically called out Blake Monroe and said anywhere, anytime. And Kiana James showed up and said that Julia got lucky last week. And then Blake Monroe showed up and attacked Julia. Kiana James rubbed that in her face, and then she also got attacked. Also backstage, Jimmy and Jacob Fatu were there looking for Solo Sikoa. Royce Keys said that he's been loyal to them for years, so he's their family, and Jimmy was like, not anymore. And I thought we would see more from this segment. That didn't come into play at all. I thought for sure that was going to come into play during the main event. Not at all. We had a segment with Trick Williams where Carmelo Hayes immediately interrupted and said that they need to run it back for the championship. And he put Trick over and said that he made that title a title, but Trick Williams turned it into an accessory. And then eventually Lil Yachty granted Carmelo Hayes a match for next week, but not for the title. And then Trick hit a trick slap on Carmelo Hayes, and Melo got the last laugh by diving out onto Trick Williams. Backstage, Danhausen said that he had backup from New York for Saturday night's main event when Matt Cardona had asked him about it. And then Cardona, he made him turn the machine on, and things went awry there, and it left Miz and Kit Wilson super shocked. But like we discussed before, it seems like it's going to have to be a New York Nick. Has to be. You had Lainey Reed pick up the victory over Brie Bella. This was Brie's first singles match in, I think, 8 years. And I thought for what it was really well done. Fallon Henley got involved. Brie was able to reverse Lainey Reed off of that distraction. She got the yes lock put on her. And then Fallon Henley got involved again, which led Paige to take out Fatal Influence. And with that distraction, Brie went outside to take out Fallon. She got back in, got rocked with that knee from Lainey Reed. Backstage, there was a hot dog eating contest between R-Truth and Nathan Frazer, which R-Truth won. And then the War Raiders interrupted to ask if they had thought about what they had said last week about their championship title versus title offer. And Damian Priest agreed to the match, but he said it's going to be happening on SmackDown. We don't know when, but I have to assume this will get R-Truth back in AAA, which I think is pretty cool. Another backstage segment, we had Finn Balor wishing Cody Rhodes good luck before the main event. Cody walked off, and then Tama Tonga showed up, and he told Finn Balor that he asked the elders for guidance about what Finn Balor had said last week. And Balor, I was like, well, what does that have to do with me? Which I thought was funny. And he ended up getting attacked by Tama and Tonga. And Tama Tonga said that he's closing all of his chapters in Finn Balor's next. Maybe we'll see Shinsuke Nakamura return during that to get Nakamura and Balor versus Tama and Tala. Main event, though. Cody Rhodes picked up the victory over Jey Uso to become number one contender. Which I don't want to see that. I don't want to see this match on Monday Night Raw. But I did think they had good back and forth here. Jay, I think, tweaked his knee at one point, but I feel like that didn't come into play at all. He was able to hit all the moves. He hit an Uso splash. Couldn't really get the cover. But Cody hit a Cody cutter. Jay countered a disaster kick with a super kick. He speared Cody. Jay went for another Uso splash, but Cody moved it. He hit his own spear. I like that. And Cody hit another Cody cutter. Jay kicked out of that. And then Cody went for an Uso splash, which Jay got his knees up for. I like Cody going for that as well. And Jay locked in a sleeper. Eventually, Cody gets out. Eventually hits another Cody Crossroads. Gets the victory off of that. And now we have Cody versus Sami Zayn on Monday Night Raw, where it seems like the writing's on the wall. And hopefully Sami Zayn doesn't lose the championship. But that is SmackDown. Going to take a quick little break, and I'll be right back here on Markin Out.
Hey, this is Kurt Angle. This is Marking Out, Pro Wrestling Talk by Pro Wrestling Fans.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Marking Out episode 804. Moving back to AAA from last week, it opened up with a video package for Los Perros del Mal. I thought it was a very good video package to reintroduce the group to a new audience or just in general. Then you had Psycho Clown go to the ring, and he said that he's lost so many things lately, and the only person he trusted turned his back on him. He called out Los Psycho Circus, Murder, Panic, and Dave the Clown came out, and Psycho asked them each to say who attacked them. None of them knew. And Psycho Clown called Pagano out. Pagano didn't show up. So Los Psycho Circus went backstage looking for Pagano, and they found him taken out. And there was a note on the mirror saying Psycho Clown is next. I can't even fathom a guess as to who this is at this point. Unless it's going to be Psycho Clown turning heel, and it was him all along. Which I don't see how it would even be possible, but we'll find out. You had Galeno pick up the victory over Mecha Wolf. Omos and Dorian Roldan came out to watch this. And it allowed for Mecha Wolf to get the upper hand with a crazy dive at one point. But it didn't last long. And Galeno looked right at Omos when he hit the Galeno special to get the victory. You had Lola Vice pick up the victory over La Hiedra in the main event to retain the championship, which I thought was really cool that they had the NXT Women's Championship defended in AAA. And it was a good defense from Lola Vice. You had Las Toxicas show up, and Lady Maravilla ended up attacking Lola Vice. You had La Catalina come out to take them out, and eventually Lola Vice hit that spinning back fist to get the victory. And then Las Toxicas beat them up, and Lady Shani made the save. We haven't seen her in quite some time. She's going to be in 2K26 somehow, and the rest of Las Toxicas didn't make it. So I thought it was a good main event for Lola Vice there. Moving over to TNA Slammiversary, they paid tribute to Joe Doring, who unfortunately passed away last week at the age of 44. After losing his battle to brain cancer, which is it's just awful. He was a very good big man wrestler and spent a lot of time in TNA, All Japan. Cody Deaner spoke very beautifully about him. It's very unfortunate that he passed away. But TNA Slammiversary opened with Elena Black picking up the victory over Mara Sade and Indy Hartwell. I thought this was a really good triple threat match. Mara Sade hit that moonsault on Indy Hartwell. She couldn't get the cover. And Elena Black hit the blackout, got the victory. Tracy Brooks then came out and announced the Knockouts TV Championship. And I think they need to seriously focus on the women's division, and this can help, but you need to have tag team titles and the Knockouts Championship pushed big time. You need, I feel like you need 3 separate divisions if you're bringing in a new title. And already with that tournament, which I'll talk about in a minute, we're seeing that they're not doing, I feel like, the best they can do. You had Ricky Sosa pick up the victory over Eric Young. Sosa, I think, had to win this, and I thought it was a good showcase match for him. The end was really nice. Sosa reversed the pile driver, hit the Blue Thunder Bang. Really good finish there. Cedric Alexander picked up the victory over Casey Navarro, Amazing Red, Leon Slater, Frankie Kazarian, Mr. Elegance, and Fabian Eichner in an Ultimate X match to retain the championship. It's crazy that it's been 15 years since Amazing Red appeared in TNA. But this match, it was chaotic as you would have expected it to be. I like when Frankie Kazarian, Fabian Eichner, Amazing Red, and Cedric all climbed the ropes to try to get the title. Casey Navarro versus Amazing Red was cool to see in this match. All of the Code Red spots I thought were fun. They did a very unique Tower of Doom spot that started off as a Tower of Doom, and it turned into like a game of chicken with Leon Slater hitting a blockbuster onto 2 people, and I hate the Tower of Doom spot, but when you do something unique like that, I'm all for it. So I thought that was well done. Leon Slater and Amazing Red both unhooked the title, but the point of the match is to the first person down with it, 2 feet touching the ring mat. And Cedric Alexander snuck in at the last second and stole the victory, basically. And then afterwards, Frankie Kazarian put Amazing Red over, and they played a video package to announce that he'll be getting inducted to the TNA Hall of Fame. Very much so deserved. They announced Conan will also be joining Amazing Red and ODB, so I think that's a really cool class for the Hall of Fame. After that, you had Elijah pick up the victory over AJ Francis to reclaim his intellectual property. I popped at Elijah playing More Than a Feeling by Boston. They were in Boston. I don't know how many people caught that. But Elijah hit that running knee at the start, almost got the victory right there. Francis had someone named Expressions with him, and he got involved behind the referee's back multiple times. He also got hit with Elijah's guitar, which allowed for AJ to hit the Styles Clash, but Elijah eventually hit the Destroyer from the top rope, got the victory there. That guy, Expressions, is like apparently a huge deal overseas, but not here. I forget what they said he does. Streaming or something. But honestly, he fit in pro wrestling like as a manager. He took a bump even, so kudos to him for that. Yeah, Demon Bunny pick up the victory over the Elegance brand to become the new tag team champions. I think it's nice to see the titles finally defended again, because it's been way too long. I thought the Elegance brand had incredible teamwork here. I really thought the match was about to be over after that double moonsault spot, but Allie broke up the pin. Ash got involved a few times, and Rosemary spat the poison mist, and it hit the personal concierge. And then the Elegance brand went for the nip and tuck, and Rosemary got out, and Demon Buddy got the victory there. I would have preferred for the Elegance brand to retain the championships. I 100% understand the outcome here, and ultimately I'm fine with Rosemary and Allie winning the championships, but I feel like the Elegance brand didn't do enough. TNA didn't have them do enough for those titles, which is unfortunate because I think they're a very talented team. You had Mustafa Ali pick up the victory over Rich Swann and Uhaa Nation making his debut in TNA to retain that championship. I I would have popped more for Apollo Crews had the dirt sheets not spoiled it. But I thought this was a really fun match. Mustafa Ali hit a Styles Clash from the middle rope onto Uhaa Nation's back. And I thought that was really cool. Agent Zero got involved to take Uhaa out of the match. I think that was a good way to do so, to make sure like it's your debut match and you lost, but he's not actually the one losing there. He wasn't on Impact. I feel like he should have been on Impact this week. But Moose afterwards picked up the victory over Eddie Edwards in a no-surrender match. Eddie attacked Moose before the match, but Moose powerbombed him on the apron. That level of brutality continued throughout the match. At one point, Eddie wrapped his knee in a chain around his knee for the Boston Knee Party. Moose ends up hitting another powerbomb. And he went to spear Eddie through a table, and then Eddie caught him with the knee that was wrapped up in the chain. I thought that was a good spot. And then he zip-tied Moose to the ropes, beat him with a kendo stick, and then Fandango teased throwing in the towel. Moose said not to, and then Moose's wife hopped the barricade. She tried to throw in the towel. Dango stopped it, and then Eddie threw her to the ground, beat down Dango, and Moose's son hopped the barricade, ends up low-blowing Eddie Edwards, and his wife took out Alicia Edwards. Moose broke out of the zip ties, hit a bunch of spears, one with the chain wrapped around him, and when he went for another one, Alicia Edwards threw in the towel, and then Dango ends up hitting Eddie with a stunner, and Moose speared him, and Alicia through the table. So I thought that was a cool ending there. After that, Xia Brookside picked up the victory over Lei Ying Lee to become the new Knockouts champion. I'm glad that we saw the brawling outside in this, because there's bad blood there. It's what this match is exactly what it should have been. Xia Brookside worked on Lei Ying Lee's leg throughout it. I thought that was good. I wasn't expecting Xia Brookside to win, like at all. But she deserves this. She should have done more in WWE. It's a shame that never happened. I really wish that she went to NXT after NXT UK stopped. But I'm very pumped that she's champion now. You had the Hardys defeat the System, the Righteous, and Order 4 in a ladder match to become the new tag team champions. Like the Ultimate X match, this was just pure chaos. But unfortunately, it was very hard to watch because the feed was broken. The Hardys got this started right away. I liked Matt doing the delete head smashes on each ladder rung to Vincent. I thought that was awesome. The Righteous brought out a Wicked Garden ladder that was wrapped in barbed wire and flowers as well. Bear Bronson got sent into that. Vincent got the poisonous flower in Brian Myers' mouth. Dutch and Bronson fought on the ladder, and the Hardys pushed them, sending them through stacked tables outside the ring. The Hardys then used that Wicked ladder for Jeff Hardy to put Order 4 through a bridging ladder. They end up winning the match. Ultimately, I wish I would have been able to see this match without all the interruptions, but we'll say maybe it was because it was broken to fit the gimmick. Main event saw Nick Nemeth pick up the victory over Mike Santana to become the new TNA champion. This started out like a basic wrestling match, and it was like refreshing to see that. But Ryan Nemeth showed up, distracted Mike Santana and the referee. It allowed for Nick to use the Call Your Shot trophy. That busted Mike Santana open. Nemeth worked on that. There were a lot of close calls here, like that super kick spot where Santana turned around into the spin the block. Eventually, though, he lost too much blood and ate a danger zone and lost. And I guess stupidly, I wasn't expecting Mike Santana to lose, but apparently he's done with TNA. So from AEW to TNA, what he was able to accomplish was absolutely incredible. you have to expect that he's coming to WWE. Moving over to TNA Impact, you had Ryan Nemeth open the show to introduce Nick, who had a whole list of wrestlers that he's beaten, like Randy Orton, Kane, Rey Mysterio, Samoa Joe, The Miz, Matt Cardona, Zack Ryder, all the Jomo variants. I thought that was funny. John Cena. And then Casey Navarro came out and said that he looks up to Nick Nemeth, but he's not digging this. And then he and Ryan Nemeth argued, and Nick said that they should be on the same page, and he sets up a match, which I'll put a pin in. You had Mara Sade pick up the victory over Tasha Steelz to advance in that Knockouts TV tournament. I thought this was good. Great moonsault to end the match. Mara Sade should definitely make it to the finals, if not win that title. Mustafa Ali, on the other hand, was not pleased with Tasha Steelz losing. You had Fabian Eichner pick up the victory over BDE, Rich Swann, Hometown Man, Mr. Elegance, and Jason Hotch to become number one contender for that X Division Championship. Very chaotic. They didn't even introduce anybody who was in the match. Like, they showed a tiny graphic, but if you're, like, brand new, you happen to see something from TNA Slammiversary, you're checking this show out for the very first time, you might not know who anybody in this match was. I thought the Tower of Doom spot was cool. Hotch powerbombed Mr. Elegance, who hit a German suplex on Rich Swann, who landed a moonsault on Fabian Eichner. I thought that was really awesome. But Fabian Eichner hit a big powerbomb on BDE, gets the victory off of that. He was honestly really the only person who made sense to win this. And then Mustafa Ali was also annoyed for Hotch losing this match. And went later to Daria Ray to get them title shots, I guess. So next week, Order 4 is going to be facing the Hardys for the titles. You had Ricky Sosa come out. He spoke about beating Eric Young. Eric Young is no longer in TNA. That was very surprising to see this week. I don't know if he's headed to WWE or what, but we'll see. But Ricky Sosa said that the win is just the beginning. The Righteous came out, tried to recruit him. The system did the same exact thing. He turned all of them down. It turned into a brawl. Leon Slater tried to make the save, but the system put him down. Yet Heather by Elegance pick up the victory over Allie to advance in that Knockouts TV tournament. I wish a champion wasn't in this. And the first match after winning titles should be a match for the tag team, like the realm of tag team wrestling. Not a singles match for another title. I think that's so goofy. But, I mean, they're using NXT talent and outside talent as well. They should have beefed it up more. Allie should not have been in this at all. M got involved. Rosemary took her out. And that distraction led to Heather getting the victory. So not only is the new champion's first match after winning a title a loss, it's because of her tag team partner. I wasn't a fan of that. I liked the match, but I just wasn't a fan of the outcome there or the fact that Allie was in this to begin with. After that, Xia Brookside came out, and she said that she hopes the win at Slammiversary taught Lei Ying Lee and the whole division a lesson, and said that she's going to do whatever it takes to keep that title. And Lei Ying Lee came out and said that there was a day where she would have celebrated this, where she would have been happy to wrestle her for that championship, and she would have been happy to see her take that title from her. But after what Xia Brookside did to her, she thinks Xia is fake, and she gets her rematch next week. Xia tried to attack Lei Ying Lee. Lei Ying Lee picked her up. Xia escaped, and she got out of the ring. Xia Brookside wanted this, not Xia Brookside, Lei Ying Lee made this match a no DQ match. So next week we're going to be seeing a no DQ match. TNA's back to loving those kind of matches for the championship. Main event saw Casey Navarro pick up the victory over Ryan Nemeth. Also, that wasn't the main event. I made a mistake. I thought this was fine. I feel like it went longer than it should have. But Nick made them both shake hands afterwards, and I feel like this was like writing on the wall. He hit the danger zone on Casey Navarro. I feel like you had to see that coming. Eddie Edwards picked up the victory over Leon Slater, and I thought this was a really good match. Alicia Edwards got involved, Cedric Alexander also got involved, and Eddie ends up rolling up Leon Slater, using his pants for leverage. Cedric continued the attack after the match, and Ricky Sosa made the save. So all in all, I thought this was a decent episode following TNA Slammiversary, and I hope it's up and up from here. So that's TNA Wrestling. Hey, Brennan, got any shout-outs?
Hi, this is Casey Kasem, and up next on the American Top 40, Brandon shout-outs.
The first shout-out goes to Little Brother. You've not watched this film yet, correct?
Not yet.
But you will?
Most likely.
Not at work.
You can spoil. That's okay.
Not at work.
No, at home.
It is a brand new movie out on Netflix starring John Cena and Eric Andre. John Cena plays a real estate agent who's trying to get onto a reality TV show. And Eric Andre was his little brother in the Big Brother program. And he ends up back in John Cena's life. The reviews for this movie, they were completely against this film. They were not kind to it whatsoever. But if you like crude humor and like the typical humor that you get from an Eric Andre film or project, I think it's for you. It's a comedy. It's funny. You laugh. I laughed. Michelle Monaghan is in it. Christopher Maloney's in it. Sherry Cola, Ego Nwodum, Caleb Perrin is in it. Which he was actually on Seth Meyers the other week and told a story. I feel like he said this on his own podcast, but he told a story about when he was a kid and him and his friends would play wrestling. And one day he was like, I want to be John Cena. And they all huddle around to discuss whether or not he could be John Cena. And they're like, well, the best we could do is Rikishi. And it's funny because, like, obviously we know what Rikishi looks like. I feel like if I was in that situation, I would also have been pinned to be Rikishi for that. I don't think I would have been John Cena at all. So I thought that was funny. And like I said, I enjoyed this movie. So my next shout out goes to The Sheep Detectives, which is now streaming on Prime Video. It came out earlier this year. Have you heard anything about this movie?
It looked good. It looked entertaining.
I didn't really know what it was going to be going into it. I saw there was a lot of hype about this. This has really good reviews. But it stars Hugh Jackman as a shepherd who gets murdered, and then his sheep have to solve the murder. So you have human cast. You have Nicholas Braun, Molly Gordon, Emma Thompson. And then you have voiceover cast for the sheep. Like Julia Louis-Dreyfus. Did I say Louis at first?
Yeah, you said Louis.
So you have Julia Louis-Dreyfus. You have Bryan Cranston.
Dreyfus.
You have Chris O'Dowd, Regina Hall, Rhys Darby, Lorraine Newman, Patrick Stewart. All voice sheep. Based on a novel called 3 Bags Full. And I thought this was a very well done movie. So much so that I think this could probably work in some sense as a Broadway show. I feel like it would kill on Broadway. If they figured out how to do the sheeps and everything. The sheep. I feel like that's already a plural word. So I would highly recommend this if you have Amazon Prime. Like I said, it's on Prime Video. My last shout out goes to Toy Story 5. That's something else I did this week. I went to go see Toy Story 5. And
nice. How was it?
I think they knocked it out of the park with this. Like, people were sour on Toy Story 4, which I enjoyed Toy Story 4. But I feel like if you didn't like Toy Story 4, you would come back to this movie and be like, this like night and day. I feel like you'd be so much more impressed here. The toys basically have to deal with new digital technology in order to help Bonnie make real friends. Some of the new cast members include Conan O'Brien, Greta Lee, Shelby Rabara, Craig Robinson, Alan Cumming, Bad Bunny, and Maddie Madsen.
There you go.
But Bad Bunny's got a
Pro
super
wrestler getting it.
super small part. But yeah, I mean, Maddie Madsen, I'll put a pin in that for pro wrestling. But this was the first film without Don Rickles and Estelle Harris. Previously, they were using old voice recordings for Rickles. I feel like it's very noticeable here, and the characters do appear.
Sure.
I don't
Don
even
Rickles
know.
is so
Like Mrs. Potato Head might have had like one line, but it's not a terrible take on Mr. Potato Head. But like, it's very noticeable that it's not Rickles. So I thought that was unfortunate.
we do miss Don Rickles.
You had Ernie Hudson appear as Combat Carl, and in the previous iterations of Toy Story, Carl Weathers was Combat Carl, but I feel like what they did with because it wasn't the Combat Carl, the one that we saw, so I feel like it works that it was a different voice. So, like, in that sense, it works. But overall, I think what they did with the plot, like, really works out incredibly well. And it makes so much sense here. Toy Story 4 had some things that didn't make sense. This just completely across the board, I thought was just very well done. It's probably set in like 2011 or 2012. Right at the start, because Bonnie's still a kid there. If it was like after Toy Story 3 to after Toy Story 4, I guess, till now, she would be probably also in college. So I do hope that we somehow see an adult Andy and an older Bonnie in Toy Story 6. I don't know if they'll explore that or what, but I do believe there's going to be a Toy Story 6 now. I can't say enough great things about this movie. And I very much so enjoy it. And Conan O'Brien just absolutely killed it in this movie. He was, I think, the MVP of this movie. I almost said VIP, obviously, but it truly a fantastic role for Conan O'Brien there. And it was funny. So those are my shout outs. Now it's time for That is right, our Mark Out moment of the week. I feel like I should, just based off my shout out mention, because of Toy Story 5, Maddie Madsen plays a Lucha Peanut called Dr. Nutcase in Toy Story 5. And there's no Dr. Nutcase merchandise anywhere.
Huh.
He's a very minimal character, but still, if you put out a new character...
Merchandising.
I don't even know if they put out pizza merch for Bad Bunny.
That's a miss.
They might have, but I don't recall ever seeing it, so... But yeah, I feel like if they don't, then that's a huge miss, but... I thought it was cool that... Because there was a pro wrestler in Toy Story 1, I want to say. I forget what his name was. But it wasn't like... obviously it wasn't like a real pro wrestler. By the time Toy Story 3 rolled around, I think Mattel had the license at that point, and I'm like, brother, how do they not put an actual toy of John Cena in this? Like we know Barbie exists in the Toy Story world. How do they not have a toy of John Cena? I thought that would have been really cool if they included that. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. Toy Story 6, maybe we'll see that. Who knows? Do you have any mark out moments?
I mean, Taylor Swift is married. We could presume.
We don't.
Not yet. We don't know.
By the time you listen
Maybe.
to this, I assume. Why is that a mark out moment for you? We weren't invited.
Yeah, but she invited the Knicks, which means that maybe she invited Danhausen.
I don't think Danhausen was involved. I think if any wrestler was invited, it would be The Rock.
I would say
No, there's no other wrestler. I mean, Jeff Jarrett, maybe, but I feel like we would have heard it.
Oh, good call. Maybe Jared.
I feel like we would have heard it already. There's supposed to be NDAs signed and whatnot, apparently, but I feel like Jeff Jarrett did not make the cut.
Yeah, you're not hearing about it from anybody.
Although it seems like she's inviting literally the world. I saw the Sandlers made it.
Oh, good for them.
Which is funny because, like,
That's nice.
it could be like, I mean, obviously his kids are huge Swifties, so there's that aspect, but at the other end of that, Travis was in Happy Gilmore, so there's that connection there.
Mm-hmm.
But it seems to be like the who's who.
True.
Michael Rubin moved his legendary white party to not affect this. To not have people
Yeah,
choose,
that's-
which obviously I feel like if, no offense, if you're caught between the...
Yeah, I don't think that there was going to be much of a problem.
Yeah, if you're going to is it the option, the white party or the biggest wedding at Madison Square Garden ever.
Yeah.
But yeah, so...
Yeah, but that's it for me.
Also, I will say, Kendall Gray's singlet from the Great American Bash, it was based on Kurt Angle's SummerSlam 2000 singlet. So I definitely marked out for that big time. I thought that was awesome.
That's cool.
But yeah, that's really the main things that I marked out for this week. And thank you, ladies and gentlemen. You could check us out on Twitter at Markin Out, at BTDG161 on all platforms. Chris Sweendog, Sim Sweeney85, David PTDPT on all platforms. Facebook.com/MarkinOut. YouTube and Instagram are Markin Out 11 Pro Wrestling. Tees.com/Markin Out. I'm sure there's some sort of 4th of July sale going on. If you happen to be listening to this before 4th of July, have a very safe 4th of July. Don't be stupid. We say this almost every year. Don't be stupid. Don't drink and
Yes,
drive.
do not
Don't be stupid
be
with
stupid.
fireworks. You could
Be safe. Be smart.
You could follow us on TikTok at Markin Out and see a video of mine that literally it's just a picture from Madison Square Garden of that. I took the photo. You could see the scoreboard down, and people are like, whoever took this is getting sued, because I made it out to be like I'm in the garden watching them set up Taylor Swift's wedding.
Uh-huh.
That gets 20,000 views. Are you kidding me? How do I get, like, normal views on my other videos? But, yeah, so at Markin Out on TikTok, you can rate, review, subscribe on all platforms, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, iHeartRadio, YouTube, markinout.com, and we wish you... I don't know if I even said this was episode 804, but we wish you best of luck in your future endeavors. Have a fantastic week.